بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear listeners, what does every Muslim have to know about the practice of Salah? Firstly, we must know that there are certain conditions that must be met before we can perform our Salah. Things that must be present and boxes that must be ticked even before we begin performing our Salah. And if they are not, our Salah will not be accepted or valid. So a condition is something that must be fulfilled before we begin the action for it to be accepted by Allah Azza wa Jal. And when it comes to Salah, there are 9 conditions. It has 9 conditions. This means that before we start praying, we must make sure we have these 9 things. And they are Islam, sanity, age, time, the Qibla, Tahara, removing Najasa, covering the Awrah, and intention. The first 3 of these conditions apply to all acts of worship, whilst the rest of them are specific to Salah. So the first condition is Islam, meaning that for a person's Salah to be accepted, they must be a Muslim. Allah will not accept the Salah of someone who has not accepted Islam. The second condition is sanity. A person must be fully sane and conscious for their Salah to be accepted. The insane person does not have to pray Salah. The third condition is age. A person must have reached the age of understanding for their Salah to be accepted. This means that they can engage in meaningful conversation, and this usually begins at the age of 7. This is the age of Salah being accepted and is different from the age Salah becomes obligatory upon an individual. The fourth condition is time. Allah has set specific times for us to pray each of the 5 daily salawat. Allah says in the Quran, "Inna as-salata kanat 'ala al-mu'minina kitaban mawquta." Indeed, Allah has written upon the believers salah at fixed times. We have to wait for the time of salah to begin for us to pray it. As for Fajr Salah, its time begins when the first thread of light appears on the horizon. As for Dhuhr Salah, its time begins when the sun goes past its highest point and the shadows change direction. As for Asr Salah, the time begins when the shadows are the same size as their objects. As for Salatul Maghrib, the time begins when the sun disappears over the horizon. As for Salatul Isha, then the time begins when the redness in the sky disappears and the sky is black. The fifth condition for Salah is facing the Qibla. For our Salah to be accepted, we must face the Qibla, which is the direction of the Kaaba in Mecca. For those of us in the UK, this is always going to be southeast on your compass. The sixth condition of Salah is Tahara. Tahara is a state of purity that we must be in to perform Salah. We get into this state of purity by either performing wudu, ritual ablution, if we are in the state of minor impurity, or ghusl, ritual bathing, if we are in the state of major impurity. As for that which causes minor impurity, then it is urinating, defecating, passing wind, deep sleep, vomiting, and heavy bleeding. And as for that which causes major impurity, then it is the following. Firstly, the ejaculation of semen if a person is awake and out of pleasure, or even if they're asleep and they didn't feel it. If a person remembers a sexual dream but doesn't find any evidence of emission, then he doesn't have to perform ghusl. This is in the case of both male and females. Secondly, when a man enters his private parts into a woman's private part, this is in the case of both the male and the female. Thirdly, when a person becomes Muslim. Fourthly, when a person dies. When a Muslim dies, they must be washed and the ghusl must be performed before they are buried. Fifthly, the end of postnatal bleeding. And sixthly, the end of menstruation. A woman must perform ghusl in these situations. The seventh condition for performing salah is removing najasa. Najasa is filth or any entity that the Sharia has described in a repulsive manner. This generally refers to the carcass of a dead animal. The exception to this is an animal that is halal to eat and was slaughtered in Allah's name. The flesh of a pig, the saliva of a dog, and the urine and feces of humans, and all animals except those that are halal to eat. We have to remove this najasa from three places: from our body, from our clothes, and the place we are praying must be free of najasa. If najasa is dry, it simply needs to be removed, and if it is wet, then it needs to be removed, and the area that it came into contact with needs to be washed. The eighth condition of salah is covering the awrah. The awrah is an area of the body which is considered private. A Muslim should not expose this area to people. As for the man, his awrah is between his navel and knees. All of this area must be covered, or else his salah will not be accepted. As for his chest and shoulder area, it is disliked for this area to be uncovered. And as for the woman, the awrah of the woman is her whole body except her hands and her face. All of that must be covered for her salah to be accepted. As for the ninth condition of salah, then it is the intention. This means that a person must intend to pray salah for the sake of Allah and nothing else. If a person wants to show off, their salah will not be accepted. If a person wants to pray to other than Allah, their salah will not be accepted. So these are the 9 conditions of salah. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.